decide to have that drink, and you've been fasting off of alcohol, and then you have that big number that you got to belt that C.
Just drive.
Because no amount of oil or olive oil is going to say that throat.
With a K.
I'm so mad at us right now.
The elevator to success is broken. Take the step.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome to Take the Stairs. I'm James Roberts IV. This is
Marcus D. Rocio.
and here is our special guest.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So am I.
Hey!
Mi hermana está aquí con nosotras hoy.
See, he has it packed more than I do. But I will claim it all day.
Yes.
People call me fake Puerto Rican, but that's okay.
It's okay. Some
A lot
people
of
like to
us
say the
don't
same about me
speak
too.
Spanish. It's fine.
Yeah.
From where? Where?
From Puerto Rico.
Are
Yes.
both your parents Puerto Rican?
No, my mom's black, my dad's Puerto Rican and Haitian.
I'm switched.
Well, Creole, but you know, most Creole folk have
yes.
Haitian
Latin
roots.
root.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Latin roots.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
switched. My mom's Puerto Rican. Look at that.
There we go. We made a connection up in here.
Fellow Afro-Latin.
Yes. But this is Danyel Fulton. The Danyel Fulton. If you don't know, you will. I'm just gonna say that because Danyel is the truth. She's very humble, but I'm a brag for like 30 seconds on my friend Miss Danyel here. We met during doing hair, the second national tour of hair, like 6 years ago. But since then, we pull up these credits.
Oh God, he got credits.
These credits. Jasper in Dead Land off Broadway, Prospect Theater Company.
Yeah.
We have Sarah in Ragtime at Alsalo and Fifth Avenue Theater. These are legit regional houses that you. Yeah, these are the
Get
real
into
ones.
them.
They're wonderful.
We've done Trip to Bountiful,
Yes.
A Night with Janis Joplin, just sang it. And since we're close to a 40th anniversary of The Wiz, she also just finished Dorothy in The Wiz at the Muni.
Yes.
Wall-to-wall legends in that show.
Wall-to-wall.
Wall-to-wall legends on the creative team, in the cast.
Sing.
Just kidding.
You had all the credit.
I
All
have to let the
credits.
people know
Yes.
who they're in the presence of.
Post it. I appreciate you.
Well, here's the thing. That's the thing. Like, I know, and I know other people that we know, but I feel like they don't know yet. And like I said, I'm gonna brag on you for a little bit. You're one of those people who, like, when you book your Broadway lead, I'm not gonna be surprised. When you get your Tony nomination, when you win your Tony, I'm not gonna be surprised at all. It's just gonna be like, well, I knew in 2012.
And I have to agree with that.
So, you're one of those people.
You just met me.
Exactly, like, I have to agree with that because I just met you and I was like, oh my God, this girl gives me Broadway vibes.
Right.
Like, you have that Broadway essence and caliber about your presence. I'm a very energy sensitive person, so I feel that from you.
So since the last time we've been together, Marcus, anything you want to report? Anything you want to tell the people about?
As far as
I'm not talking about that.
okay,
Marcus has a new friend in his life, but we're not going to talk about
Ooh.
that. I was talking about the show.
oh yes.
Because
So
they don't know about the show yet.
I'm currently doing 2 shows right now. The first show that I'm doing right now is In the Heights. I'm playing the role of Sonny. Yes, and I understudy Usnavi. That's a show that I've always wanted to do. Ever since the show came out, like, 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago,
Yeah.
I always saw myself in that show, especially, like, being of Afro-Latino descent.
Yes.
Yes. When the tour came to Chicago in 2009, my mom took me to see it, and I asked her, what characters do you see me as? She said, I see you as the Benny character, but then I also could see you playing the lead. And I was like, yeah, I see you playing that too. And I remember writing it down because I was that kid that wrote down a list of all the roles I wanted to play. Like, I had my bucket list written out on a piece of loose leaf. And I still have that piece of paper to this day. And every time I get a role, I scratch it off. I haven't gotten a chance to play with Snavi yet, but I can at least scratch the show In the Heights off of my bucket list. Next week, I'll be opening up another show called Jamaica, and I'm playing a character called Cicero.
Wait, where is this at?
This is at Harlem Repertory Theater.
We have an alum.
Oh, we'll chat off camera.
Yes, we can chat on camera.
Yes. Wait, so what show did you do at Harlem
So
Rep?
I was at Harlem Rep back when I was at City College in 2006. I started HRT and then up to 2009.
You know Natalia?
Yes.
Yes. Oh
we
my
were like
gosh.
best friends. That's my girl.
She is currently playing Vanessa with us, and she understudies Danielle. I really respect her, and she was one of the ones who, when I came in, because I came in as a last minute replacement at First Sunny, and she came in for like my last, I guess we can call that my dress rehearsal, and she just came in and was like, "You've brought such freshness and like a new energy to the role," and I was like, "Well, thank you."
She'll nurture you, child.
She really, like, I felt it. And then we also know another alum for HRT, Miss Daryl and Melody.
Yes,
Darylyn!
We went to school together too. Yeah.
This is such a small
Yeah. Tell people where it's gonna be and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, so you can look on the website for Harlem Repertory Theater, and then they also have a Facebook page. There's so many dates, but usually all of our show, there's a show every Saturday. There's a matinee and a evening show. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Small world.
That's why I got my start, took my start.
Yeah.
Wow, that just made, like, that moment right there just made me like. So it's been a day, y'all. So to have this really like has just brightened my spirits today. But you know what? Once we get out of this retrograde that Venus is in,
Is it still in retrograde?
it's gonna, yeah, we have about 2 more weeks. Like Venus is in retrograde right now until the 16th, and then we got Mercury about to come back up, and
Wow.
we all know how that goes. Yeah.
Well, now I know.
Lord.
But you know what? I have to say, because I've had there's been good things happening too. Sometimes we like to focus on the negative parts of situations, and it's not always that bad.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And the truth is that it really is what you put your energy into.
Yeah.
I just mapped out how I wanted this year to go, you know? And it hasn't quite gone there. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm at the climactic point in the movie of my life called 2018. There's going to be a plot twist and then some scenes at the end after the credits.
Yes.
So we still got a few more months, y'all, or a couple more months, so anything could happen.
You already cast 2 shows.
Yeah.
In the city.
Yes, in the city.
Okay.
Because I thought about that too. That's a blessing in itself.
It is a blessing.
To be in the city working. Because
Yes.
I had a great conversation with a friend of mine the other night, and I was like, I don't just want to leave the city again and go do like a regional gig, then have to come back to the city and like restart my life. And you know, if the price is right and the role is right, I definitely will. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Working on that right now.
Yeah, and you know, if the price is right and the role is right, then I'll gladly do it. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm not at that point in my life anymore. I'm just gonna take anything. I gotta think strategically.
I'm gonna report like 2 things, then we'll get into what we're talking about. I finished a reading last week of a new musical called Dead Serious. It went really well.
Nice.
We will see what happens going forward, but we had a nice little invited situation performance. And this week I got signed by an agency. Yeah. Thank you. So
Can you say who it is?
yes, it's the Price Group.
Yes. See?
So
Y'all need like graphics and stuff like
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
confetti and things.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like y'all are making me
Did you know that? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Oh.
This is beautiful to me. Cause you know, like we've been working, like I've known him for about 5 years now, and we've been working so hard, and to like see these progressions, especially for him with everything he's been able to accomplish, it's just beautiful to see. You know, I'm really trying to hold it in, because it's like you want to, like if you are the right type of person, you really do want to see your friends succeed. So it's like, oh my God, okay.
Y'all want to hug?
Oh no, because that'll make me cry. That'll really bring the tears out.
It's been nice. It's taken some time to process. Like I said, like I told my family yesterday, and I gave them my contract on Tuesday. So I needed some time to process it myself, because like I've been wanting this for a minute, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm glad you took that time.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we get what we wanted and don't realize how long we took to think about it and try
Yeah.
to manifest it, and then we let that moment pass us by. So taking that moment was
I really needed that time to kind of just live in, like, oh, this happened. So, and I know it's like, it's not a check, it's not a contract, but it's like, it's still something to celebrate.
It's a step.
It's still something to celebrate.
And it's gonna be a check.
It's gonna lead to a check.
You
Yes.
got a team.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. So that's exciting.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I have to have a moment. I have to have a moment to brag on this one.
Oh God.
And if you know James, and if you've gone to your 6 a.m. calls anytime between the past decade, you have seen this man.
Damn! Oh!
He is one of the hardest working people. People do not have to know you personally, but you still on the decade?
I'm still on the decade.
Can we pull? I need a few days to process.
Okay, continue.
But they may not know you personally, but they know that you always be at them auditions first thing in the morning. I'll be like, you know James Roberts? Oh yeah, I see him at every audition. This man is one of the hardest working men in this industry. So for him to achieve everything he's achieved this past year, he is one of the most well-deserving people of it. And you are hearing that straight from my mouth.
Thank you, Marcus.
And I'm gonna shut up for the rest of the show.
Shut up for the rest of the show.
This is our special day.
This is our love session moment. So what we are talking about today, since we're talking about it, we just talked about goals that we've achieved.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about goal setting and how we work towards those goals. I think with goals, it's important to start with the dream, start with the big stuff that you really, really want, and work your way back. Like, let's say I want to originate a role in a new musical on Broadway. That's huge. There isn't like one step to just do that. However, what you can do is say, okay, what can lead up to that? What roles might I need on my resume? Maybe I need to be being in readings, so that, because readings do come to Broadway and become new musicals. So you kind of work your way backwards from there. And of course, get your skills up, because you have to be good enough to get the role in the first place. Right. That's how I work back towards things. What about you, Danielle?
I'm terrible at it. If I'm honest, you know. So one thing I have done is, it's pretty uncomfortable to do, but saying no to things that aren't in your focus, or things that you don't foresee for yourself. It's pretty hard to do. I'm not someone who chases money or chases. This is weird. I've never wanted to be famous. I've never wanted to be, you know, popular. I'm a pretty private person. As you probably already know. Try to be. So those things weren't always so attractive to me. So saying no to certain things, although hard, because of that thought process I've always had, has been a little easier for me than maybe some other people. If I'm honest, I've been able to attain things by being in the right place at the right time. And when I've gotten there, I've tried to make the best of it. And if the next opportunity comes, does not look like what I see as what I want it to be after this opportunity, I'd say no to it. And sometimes that means saying no to a check. You know, that's what it is. But I don't know. I'm trying to get like you guys with the jars, and people do vision boards and all that stuff. So I really need to get much better on my goal setting.
Yeah, let's talk about that since you brought it up. Marcus and I both did a vision jar for 2018. This whole concept was brought to my attention by Terry Lavelle, a Broadway performer who that Marcus and I know. Marcus knows him really, really well.
Hi, Mom. Hey. Mama Terry.
But I've met Terry once or twice, a great person. He brought to my attention the Vision Jar Challenge. So what we did, like, around New Year's Eve is write down all the things that we wanted to have happen in 2018. And you write them down on little strips of paper, like you write down a sentence or two, tear off the strip of paper or cut it up, roll it into, like fold it up and put it in the jar. So you can't really see what's on the paper, but it's in the jar. And you write down all these goals, put them in the jar, and you have the jar somewhere where you can see it. So you just look at the jar and know that those goals and those aspirations are in there. And you check in around mid part of the year, like in June. I check in June to look at all my stuff. And it's interesting, you'll see where you are in terms of reaching those goals. Like, have you achieved certain things? Do you need to work harder at other things? And you can kind of see, chart your course, and you have 6 more months to get everything together. And it's been interesting because certain things have happened in the year. Getting the equity card was on that list, and that's already happened this year. Just seeing them every day lets you know why you're getting out of bed, why you're putting in the work, and why you're going to those calls at 6 a.m. and why you're spending $60 on this voice lesson when that's like half your groceries for the month. That puts some motivation behind it. And so if it's really that important to you, you have the push, you have the drive to do it and make those sacrifices. So, yeah.
I'm gonna get a draw so fast.
Mm-hmm. You ain't gotta wait till the new year.
And having this conversation, I'm realizing as you're speaking, as I'm speaking, I was focused for a long time on what I don't want.
Okay.
And now I need to focus on what I want. And although a part of me thought that I was being focused on what I want, but now in this conversation, I'm noticing that's the thought process that may need to change. Sometimes we're too afraid to say, I want this. Because if it doesn't happen, what would we do then? What route would we go then? And I'm really realizing that now. That's where a little therapy session right now.
I love it though. Like this is great, and it's so true because see now the minister in me is about to come out. I'm a firm believer in you get what you put your energy into and what you focus on. And if you focus on the negative and focus on the lack, I don't have, I'm not on Broadway, I don't have the equity card, I don't have the agent, I don't have the money, I don't have this, I don't have that. You're just going to attract more of that. But then when you say, you know what, I will have, I do have, I am, that's when you're going to start to see those things come into fruition because now the universe, God is now saying that you are lining up with what it is that you want, you're lining up with your purpose. So therefore, there's nothing else that can stop you. Just keep going forward, keep moving forward, and you're going to get what it is you want in the end.
Absolutely.
And I will say when I have turned down certain things or opportunities, or not that I've gotten roles, but opportunities to get them, it would be uncomfortable, like I said earlier, but a little bit afterwards, a month or maybe 2 months afterwards, and not even that long, all of a sudden there comes another role that I had no idea was even in the forecast, that I'm elated to play even more than the opportunity that I thought I lost by trying to be focused and goal-oriented.
Kind of piggybacking off that and what Marcus said, like I was reading this book. What is it called? The title of the book is not important at this point. What's important is the affirmation that I read in the books, because it was talking about the root chakra, and there was this affirmation that said, "I am immersed in abundance." I about shouted on the train when I saw that.
Don't you hate that when you're alone and you're listening to the gospel or something, you just want to shout by yourself?
Yeah.
I dropped the book and I was just like, it spoke to me, like just immersed in it. Like none of this lack, none of this I don't have.
Yes.
You have what you need. And like affirming that you are immersed in abundance and like more than what you need, more than enough.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, I can say that every day and see how things change.
The scripture we have not because we ask not.
Hey.
Just came.
Hey.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yo, we're ministering.
I knew I was gonna go there.
This happens to be
where
often.
two or more are gathered.
This happens to me often. Things get really deep.
This room is
out of nowhere.
It's a sacred space and it's cleansed. Like he'll tell you, and you probably smelled it too. But
I
sage this house.
You know what I did? I was like, I'm not sure exactly what that is. I'm not gonna call it out. But
Oh no! That's the only herb that we do in this house. Is the sage.
I don't judge either way. It's fine.
Yeah, and like if you notice all those
I
pink
do.
post-its up there, those are my affirmations. Affirmation will come to me, and a lot of them have to do with abundance and connecting with the universe and increase and just like positivity and love. I did a 21-day meditation in March of this year called 21 Days of Abundance by Deepak Chopra.
Yes.
And it really, I saw the manifestations as I was in the meditation process.
Yes.
And you know, I'm not exactly where I want to be. I'm where I need to be. I'm where I need to be.
Yes.
But I'm not exactly where I want to be. But I do feel the abundance and see the manifestations. Like I definitely can wholeheartedly say that I have experienced growth, and that who I was at the beginning of this year is not the same person that sits before you.
It's a different person.
It's a different person.
It's a different person.
Yo, this is the deep episode.
Yes.
This is that episode of the sitcom where all of a sudden they start talking about drugs and
they
you know,
had
like
the PSA at the end.
yes.
We gotta
This is the episode where Laura tries to buy the gun.
Oh, Family Matters.
Yes.
Girl, Tony pulled the gun on her, and Laura wanted to get one to defend herself.
Lord, and then Harriet and Carl had to get real deep.
Also, I wanted to talk about this. Those baseline things that you do every day, or not every day, regular. Let's say regular. To get to where you want to be, because like I'm talking about, like if you want to be a triple threat performer on Broadway, then you might want to get to a dance class on a regular basis. That's just. But like if you're trying to like dance and you're not taking class, that may be a disconnect. If you're trying to sing and you don't have a voice teacher, that may be a disconnect.
Right.
If you're trying to be a fierce actor and you haven't taken a scene study class in like 5 years, there's going to be a bit of a disconnect.
Right. Absolutely.
Between what you want and what you are doing, actively doing.
Yes.
So I do actually every day ask myself, what can I do to get towards that next thing? You know, even if I can't got the money to get to my voice teacher, I can do my exercises. Nothing can stop me from doing those exercises. I can usually get to dance class, but if I can't, I can do a bar at home.
Okay.
I can learn a monologue on my own.
Right. Yes.
And work a monologue on my own.
Yes.
So like I try to not let the resources be an excuse, because it's easy to let that be an excuse, or lack once again, associating yourself with the lack of a resource to get to a class or a teacher or whatever.
I'm a firm believer in continuing your education, because sometimes if you don't use it, you lose it.
Exactly.
And now the dance thing I got to work on. Listen, that's what I always say. I give you a good dream girl. I can't.
Like we were moving in hair.
We were moving.
That
Something
was
okay. Something like that I
we
can
were
give
moving.
you. But they'll call me for dance calls and like, that's why am I here? Yeah, voice lessons, checking in. When's the last time I warmed up? Where's my pyramids? Am I drinking enough water? As far as just checking in with yourself, just separately from the business, spiritually and emotionally, mentally, where are you right now? In order to rev up to be able to face this industry in that way. Acting, scene study class. I just finished one with Freeman Studio, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
But I didn't have, the funds to continue. I'm just like, oh, I need to get it. But like you're saying, I will go, watching Netflix, binging some show.
Yeah.
And that monologue, I like that monologue. I saw, and I'll write it down. I saw, you saw it too. I saw it.
Fireflies.
The House That Will Not Stand the other day. So many things. So much Black Girl Magic. Have your resources right there. If you're going to take the time to go see something, you can, learn from it as well.
Absolutely.
And I want to piggyback on something that you just said about growing spiritually. See, that was one thing that I was told a couple years ago, that to help me get further along to where I want to be, I need to grow in here. It's not just, sometimes it's not simply about taking a class or having a voice lesson or a dance class or whatever. Sometimes you have to grow up in here. You have to have certain life experiences that help bring an authenticity to what it is you are trying to do. I know for me, that's been my journey for the past year or so, where I've been trying to grow in here as a person. And I know we've said this in videos before, I'm not the boy who I was when I started this career 10 years ago, a decade ago. I'm not that boy anymore. You have to grow here. You have to be willing to change and completely evolve. There was this meme that was going around a couple days ago. There was a caterpillar and a butterfly, and the caterpillar tried to call the butterfly a caterpillar. I don't want to still be a caterpillar. I'm not a caterpillar. I am a butterfly. I'm in my chrysalis right now.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, chrysalis.
And eventually, I'm about to burst out of that cocoon and be like,
yes!
Hey!
Something he said about maturing to a certain place where even those roles that you really, really want, you're not ready for it. There was so many roles that I wanted to play, and as you get older and as I mature, I'm realizing I wasn't ready for those things. I wasn't in a place to be able to execute it in the way that I'd like to. I thought I was, but yeah, just making sure that you're all together here outside of the business, outside of the industry. And as I'm saying this, I'm speaking to myself. I'm not nobody's, answer to anything. It's true, you just have to make sure you're whole.
Yeah, you have to bring a whole person to the work.
yes.
Or it's not really gonna...
And sometimes it's not there. And that's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find a way to re-up and come back. I do it all the time.
Yes. Pray, meditate, whatever it is you gotta do.
I just want to share a quick little tour story.
I have no idea.
Okay, it's nothing embarrassing. It's just very Danielle.
That can
Put
be
you
many
out there.
things.
When I got on the elevator with you, you had your tea, this huge hunk of ginger in it, just big, and it was just in the cup, and you had your whiteboard, and I was just like, I'm not gonna speak to Danielle this morning.
And I appreciate
and it's
that.
not anything personal. She had to keep this together.
The thing about I look back and say, ooh, did I need all that? Maybe I did, because I don't know reality without it. I know that I used those things and I was able to get through. That's all I know. But singing that stuff was pretty hard.
Yes.
That's a goal, you know, setting a goal. I want to get through this tour whole. I want to get through this tour okay, and I want to be able to execute. I called out about 4, 5, 6 times.
It was very few times.
I mean,
for the stuff that you were doing,
you gotta do
very
it.
few times.
You gotta do it. I remember the first time I called out, I cried and cried and cried. That was the last time. I was like, oh God. Now I look back like, what are you crying for? You gotta take care of yourself. Stay home. Yeah, I just knew I had to get through it, and that's how I did it. And that schedule was crazy.
Crazy.
The other day I was talking to Carl about Carl James was on the tour too.
Yes.
I was talking about how we were in Canada, Pennsylvania, and Jersey. Do you remember that? In 3 days. Triggered.
Blocked it out.
Well, 5 or 6 shows. Friday to Sunday. I had a whiteboard in Virginia. Just want you to know.
God bless y'all ministry.
Yeah.
He sure did, because y'all made it through that storm.
I think that's going to pretty much do it for us today. We are so glad to have Danyel Fulton in the house.
Ooh, I'm glad to be here.
Hey.
Yes.
Come on, Danielle. Where can the people find you on the social media?
You can find me at Danyel Fulton with a Y. Danyel with a Y. Danyel Fulton, like the street. On Instagram.
Absolutely.
Working on the website now. I had one before, but I want to re-up.
Come on.
That's a goal for this year. Put it in
Go.
the jar. I'm going to buy a jar as soon as I leave here.
Yes.
I need to be proactive.
Absolutely. Do you have anything to plug, like a show or anything?
Oh, yeah. I have a Aretha Franklin concert coming up that I'm doing with Darius the Haas, my lion from well, Darius the Haas, the icon. The
musical theater tennis. We know who he is.
He is. I just went to his house the other day. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. But yeah, and that's gonna be November 15th at Patchogue Theater.
Oh yeah.
And tickets, I believe, at patchoguetheater.com. Theater.com.
All right.
Yeah, and just doing like readings and workshops. And
Of
stuff like
course.
that.
Absolutely. Other than that, y'all, if y'all liked what you saw, give us a like, give us a share, go ahead and subscribe. Hit it. It's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna cost you nothing.
Right.
Just go ahead.
I am going to go this. You can edit this out if you want to.
Oh God, I'm so scared right now.
I'm excited.
Go ahead.
If you're willing to subscribe to other types of formats of entertainment, and you know what I'm talking about, and you're willing to pay that $15 a month,
No!
you can hit that button and subscribe for free.
We love y'all. See y'all next time. Oh, we cannot control this one at all. Take the stairs. Oh, the elevator to success is broken.
Take the stairs.
Take the stairs. Oh God. Hey y'all, thank you for watching another episode of Take the Stairs. Make sure you check out our previous episodes, and while you're at it, why not give us a subscribe? As we said, it don't cost you a thing.